Hey, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Apochromatic Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. I'm Daniel Mendoza, he, him. You can find me anywhere on the internet under that handle. And I'm going to be your light keeper today. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. Lavender Rights Project is a fantastic organization, a Black feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm Black communities. We also want to give a big shout out to this year's sponsors, Transplanar RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crime Games. So thank you all for being in support of this. Get in the Tiltify, support Lavender Rights Project. This is a fantastic event. They're a fantastic organization. This is a really important cause, especially at the time that we're living in right now. So thank you for helping out. We're gonna have a good, super scary time right now. And let me go ahead and let the kind folks here at the table with me introduce themselves. I'm gonna pick one of y'all, and then we're gonna popcorn. Chanel Lees, why don't you start us off?
Hi, my name is Chanel Lees. I use she, they pronouns. You can find me pretty much anywhere online at Chanel Lees, with or without a hyphen, because some websites don't let you put a hyphen in your username, and I think that's bullshit. And I will popcorn it too. Addy, because he's shaking his head at me.
Hello, people of the internet. I am Adi MK. I go by Fab, he, him pronouns because I think he, him's a little boring and I prefer being Fab first. You can find me at Adi MK on both Blue Sky and YouTube, and soon on another thing that I'm going to be starting. But yes, that is it for me here. I will popcorn it over to Janie.
That's me. I lost my captions. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Second.
Caption Ninja.
What do we got? Let's go to Allegro first while you're getting the captions up, and then we'll do that.
Hopefully I haven't lost mine. Hi, folks. I'm Allegro, also known as Alluring Allegro, your silly siren on the interwebs. Yeah, you can find me here on Twitch as well, or join in for these actual plays too. Oh yeah, my pronouns: they, any, anything. All right, popcorn and back over to Janie.
Hi, I'm captions. No, I'm Janie. Who lost the captions? She, they pronouns. I am playing Oleander, and I am, what is the name of Blue Sky Janie Potts. It's completely out of order and disjointed, but I promise that I'm going to have fun, and you will too.
I love that. Thank you all for joining. I do, speaking of having fun, want to make sure to make some content warnings available as of now, right? We're going to be telling a horror story, right? We're playing Candle Obscura here during this session. It's going to be dealing with cosmic bliss, horror of the sublime, anti-mimetic erasure, cosmic horror, body horror, psychological horror, existential horror, a bit of gaslighting in a heightened, not grounded in realism sort of way, and identity erasure. So if any of that doesn't sound like fun to you right now to have in your storytelling experience, that's okay. Still, please give to the Tiltify if you can, because it's the most important part of what we're doing. But you can join the next show. The one that's coming up right after this is going to be awesome. All of the ones that are going on this weekend and the whole month are fantastic. And you can always come back and check this out on VOD, and if this gets posted up afterwards on YouTube. So take care of yourself. First and foremost, that's what we're doing here at the table. That's what we want you to do at home too, is take care of yourself, have a good time. And with that having been said, I'd love to kick off the Alembic of Genius, which, just so that everybody knows, is an original piece written for this event and inspired specifically by a quote from James Weldon Johnson that I'd like to read at the top. Quote is, "The fact is, nothing great or enduring, especially in music, has ever sprung full-fledged and unprecedented from the brain of any master. The best that he gives to the world he gathers from the hearts of the people and runs it through the alembic of his genius." So that is once again from James Weldon Johnson from the Autobiography of an Ex-Colored Man. Seminal work from the Harlem Renaissance. So we begin our time in New Fair when the Circle of the Dreaming Key has retired already some time ago, after having completed what they set out to do. A group of artists communing in the House of Theseus, which is a building in the Varnish, jutting out of the collapse into Old Fair that cuts across it, came together with the guidance of Lightkeeper Sterling, who was then the youngest Lightkeeper in Candela Obscura's history. And from the cover afforded them by this ever-rotating set of third spaces within what they call the House of Theseus, lovingly, they achieved what no circle ever really gets to achieve. They lived. They did great and terrible things to keep thinnings from wearing down enough to let the flare take hold of New Fair. In retirement and obscurity, after over a decade of unceasing service without acknowledgement or accolade, they hope to finally find some rest and focus on their art. In their absence, the House of Theseus sits empty, abandoned by its purpose and left alone among the ancient wreckage of Old Fair, cutting across the New Fair of today. So, in that context, where do we find each member of the Circle of the Dreaming Key in their retirement? I will pick someone if nobody wants to go first, but I will give you the chance to volunteer if you'd like.
Maybe go first.
Okay, where? Tell us who we're meeting and where we find them.
Tariq Kimlani is a you would find Tariq Kamlani. The camera would kind of zoom into an old divey, bar, pretty much near the port or somewhere near the river, and in it, listen. There'll be a bunch of people. It is the movement and coagulation of life in all of its beauty. And it is kind of, there's a nice ambient sound that kind of goes from the plucking of strings. And on this one stage is this man who, he has a kora. The first thing would be a kora is it's an African lute harp combination. But it is put on the ground and he is plucking it, and beautiful music is coming. His head seems to be kind of moving to the side to side because he is a pretty dark, almost red velvet chocolate kind of sheen to his skin, dreadlocks all the way down, which are now starting to get bursts of salt and pepper, and a pretty neat cross trimmed beard, and massive sunglasses that are just covering his eyes. And there is a long cane that is resting on the chair next to him, and he's just playing, lost in the music.
As he wanders through the music, his mind drifts to a place that you can tell me if he goes to much or not. What is the moment in his service to the circle where he came closest to death?
It was a couple of assignments back. Probably not the one that caused us to achieve our goal and retire, but probably a few assignments before that. Yeah, it was almost a flare, but we stopped it just in time. But it is in that moment when there were all sorts of weird phenomena that were crawling out of this gap in the world. And as he is remembering, the music strings start getting a little more intense and more heavy. He remembers gunshots. He remembers people chanting, and he remembers his blade covered in an ethereal fire, but it is dimming. And in that moment, he remembers claws digging through his sternum and going to rip through his back. And in that moment, one of the strings of the kora breaks.
As that string breaks and you're transported in your mind back to this moment, I'd like for you to do the first roll of the game, please, and roll me a sense roll. It's all right. You've got a gilded on there. It's got 2 dots. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so my gilded was a 1, but
Okay.
my 2 other dice are 6.
Okay, so that's a critical success. Unless you want to switch over to get the drive back. Which you don't need to do at this point, so you're all good. Okay, so with that critical success, what I can tell you before you tell me about parts of it is your blade, slick with your own blood, fiery with the fire of another world, cuts deep into the creature in front of you that gave you your first scar, which came in as a body, given how that roll went. So you avoided any of the magical consequences that could have come off of that, and the psychological ones. You landed on simply the physical, which is more than enough on its own. I will say that although it had a form quite unlike any that you had seen before, still lightly humanoid, but very, very of the flare, moving in directions that took a moment for your brain to process, because they aren't really movements that any living creatures that you encounter on this side of the thinning make. It looked at you. You felt like it looked at you. It didn't seem to have a face. And then it did. As you stabbed deep into its chest, it had your face as it faded. What did you feel in that moment?
Me know many things about the thinnings and flare, be all sort of bad juju, but that did not stop me from quaking in my boots and a quiver in my soul. That was difficult because in my fright, the only thing me could do was drive my sword into its chest. But at that point, a tail whipped out, ethereal, intangible, raked across my eyes. And that was the last thing me saw, my own face looking back at me.
As you saw that, you hear something that in this moment, with the broken string and sitting alone, playing music, you aren't sure was there originally. Maybe you just forgot it. You hear Samira's voice, your sister, as you introduce her to everyone, Samira Santiago, and you hear her say, "I told you not to go alone."
Sister, you keep telling me many things, but that's the problem. Me choose when to listen.
She doesn't say anything back. And you are back with the broken string, a cut on your hand. Do me a favor, take one body. Uh,
Me apologies, brethren. Me, Tariq want to play, but me no incapacity, and he will kind of like do a small bow, and yeah, slowly start collecting himself, and he will put the Quora in like a bag that he has for it, puts it over his back, and reaches for the cane, and then starts tapping on the floor, uh, and walking off.
Wonderful. As he walks off, we find ourselves with Oleander, or as her friends tend to call her, Ollie. Where do we find Ollie?
Um, I think Ollie is outside of a building, like it's a religious building,
Mhm.
and she's wearing Ollie is um she's got like a golden brown skin and she's wearing white. She wears white a lot. But she's leaving the building with someone. They've had some kind of ceremony. The people are happy. It's not like it wasn't a wedding ceremony. It was just like a I guess a family ceremony.
Okay.
She's really happy looking.
And she have her camera with her?
Yes, always. It's
Always.
always around her neck.
What time of day do you think this is?
Midday. So
Okay.
there's like she can't really look for the sunset yet because she likes to take pictures of sunsets, but she has a camera just in case something important happens.
Beautiful. Uh, in this happy moment, full of love, she sees a flash of someone passing through who she could swear was there the day she nearly died in service of the circle. When was that?
I think that was a while back. Um, about see, I think we've been a circle for a few years.
A little over 10, and
So
retired earlier this year, let's say.
yeah, so about maybe 7 years ago. It's been a while, a
Okay.
long time.
All right. And what wakes you up at night still about that moment? What do you remember? What sticks in your head more than anything else? It could be a flash, it could be a smell, it could be a sound.
What sticks with Ollie the most is that there was a moment where she felt completely alone. It was right before, in this moment, she jumped onto something to stop. She had a vision that she needed to jump onto this circle to stop a ritual, and she jumped on it. And for a moment, when she jumped on it, she did not feel. She felt alone. She did not feel anybody else. She couldn't feel the presence of anyone else. She wasn't happy or sad or any. It was just a moment of emptiness, which she's not used to. It was really unsettling.
Do you think in that moment she tried to center herself against this unsettlingness more by communing with the magic around her and trying to
Yeah.
turn it to her advantage, or by trying to use her mind to see through its illusions?
She tried to use the magic around her to gather it up, like almost like a hug.
Beautiful. Please roll me sense.
Wait. Oh, okay. I got a five. The gilded one is a five, and then it's a three and a five.
Awesome. So it'll be a 5. You would get a drive back if you'd spent one, but you haven't spent one yet. Um, so that is a mixed success. So the scar that you take will come through brain. Um, you felt desperately alone in that moment, so much so that it still haunts you all these years later in your dreams, unbidden. And in this moment, the flash that you see that reminds you of that is of someone that you remember dying at the hands of these creatures that made you feel alone. And the first thing that you saw coming out of that loneliness as you used successfully your ability to commune with the magic of this place to move past its illusions was someone else subject to that same illusion, the person that you could swear you just saw move in front of your camera, who was desperately alone, was not so lucky to be able to see past the magic's trick, and who died of terror in front of you, their face frozen in fear, screaming, sits in front of you. And as you move your camera down, nobody's there at all. Go ahead and mark your scar for brain, please. And I'm sorry, Adi, also with yours, whenever you can, if you can let us know how that impacted your character, where that moved one dot from, and where it moved it to. That'd be good to know for both of you. But Janie first, since we're with you.
Um, okay, I'm gonna move the dot from um read,
Okay,
and I'm gonna move it to focus.
good. That makes a lot of sense. You were successful in seeing through the illusion, um, but it does, I think, alienate you from other people a little bit more. This pain. It's a beautiful choice. Uh, in this moment, Janie, while this hits Ollie, uh, and Ollie sees that the person she thought she saw through her camera is seemingly not there. Maybe it was somebody who looked like them who passed by already. If you look around, you can't really see who it might have been, but that doesn't mean they weren't there. How is she feeling?
She's actually going to wave to the person that she was doing this ceremony with and wander off in that direction.
I love that. That's beautiful. So as she does, before we move to the next person, Adi, could you tell us how you moved your dot from one to another?
Since me was trying to track the incoming attack, it moved from survey to sense.
That makes sense. All right. So with that movement, we move over to see Lucille Morgan. So Chanelise, can
Hmm.
you tell us where we find Lucille?
This is midday still, yeah?
It's up to you, time of day.
Okay. I'm good
Um,
with
yeah,
midday.
okay.
I think Lucille is in her office. I would presume that that office is in her home, and she's sitting at her desk. She's surrounded by writing materials, unfinished poems, first drafts, scripts, editing, approving, whatever she's working on in writing. It's in disarray around her, not from a lack of organization, but in a sudden pause in activity. She hasn't stopped doing what she was doing. She's paused because she's been distracted by something else. She has picked up the newspaper, and she's got I don't, I'm realizing I forget how newspapers work. Whatever part of a newspaper has like reviews on like a show or whatever's been going
Sure,
on, and
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Like
and
the
so
the arts section. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and she's looking at a review of one of her most recent plays, and while it is a glowing review, you wouldn't be able to see it from her face. She looks dissatisfied, not in the review itself, but there is like a deeper sense of like existential dissatisfaction in her face. Whatever glowing descriptive words whoever wrote this article has used, to her, they just scratched the surface of what she had been attempting to express through her play. She's not content to just be applauded for, she wants to be understood. And she just can't seem to, none of the feedback she's gotten signals to her that anybody is really picking up. No one is connecting with her through her artwork. And so she just kind of sits there reading and rereading the article and feeling that sense of isolation, but also a sort of like a self-judgment. And why can't you just be content to be successful? Why can't you just, why do you always have to dig down to something deeper? Why not be happy with what's on the surface? Everybody else seems to be. And I think just as she reads, I think after a while she stops reading and she's just sort of like that like soft half focus you do when you kind of stop paying attention to your surroundings and everything just gets the same level of blurry, and she's just sort of thumbing the corner of the newspaper.
As she does, and the world blurs out a bit, and she falls deep into her thoughts, what does she see in the corner of her eye that brings her back to the moment she nearly died in service to the circle?
I think something falls. I think she has some kind of jacket or something that's over a chair, and it's been sliding off ever so slightly. But then as she's just kind of like zoning out, it fully like the momentum builds up and it slides off of the chair and hits the ground. It's the sound and also the shape of like a vaguely humanoid object just being upright and suddenly just it's now horizontal on the ground. That's what brings her back to that moment.
And she finds herself suddenly in that moment as a vaguely humanoid shape, a shape changer who had taken on the shape of one of the other members of her circle, falls to the ground dead. And behind that shape changer, you see, and we together see for the first time here, Lightkeeper Sterling. Lightkeeper Sterling being the Lightkeeper for the entire time that the Circle was in service, who initially recruited each and every one of you into Candela Obscura, beginning with Lucille.
Hmm.
Lucille and Sterling have known each other longer than anyone else in the Circle. What did Lucille see in Lightkeeper Sterling's eyes in this moment that made her afraid?
Hmm.
What the shape changer fell from
So
oh
Shapechanger was
yeah.
looking like Vox, like the sculptor.
Hmm.
Um, and the Lightkeeper stabbed through
Hmm.
the back, cut down, and threw the body down. The body crumpled much like the jacket off of the chair, as though a piece of clothing had fallen off of whatever was inside of it. And behind them, as you see the face of your friend fall, and as it's falling, start to transform into something else, something less human, something more abstract, you saw the face of your old friend Sterling, and something scared you about it.
Mm. So forgive me for not quite. You're asking, what do I see in the face, the false face, or in
No, in
Sterling's
his.
face?
I'm sorry. No, it's okay.
All
I
right,
should be
right,
clear.
yeah.
What do you see in his face that scares you?
In Sterling's face, I think Lucille sees a satisfaction. She sees an objective completed. And the reason why this scares her is because seeing the shape changer take the shape of someone else in her circle. I think the immediate realization that shocked her was the amount of care she has for this person who previously she just saw as a collaborator. I guess you could say a coworker, although the circle is not necessarily a job, but she is more emotionally invested with her circle than she thought she had been. She could be more than she would have wanted to be, considering the amount of constant threat everyone is under. Seeing Sterling drop the shape changer, back turned to Sterling, but facing her in the shape of a friend, she realized whatever comes for anyone she cares about is coming for them as a means to an end. And that there's not much difference between them as a circle vanquishing foes to protect their side of reality than anything coming in to benefit their own. And the real fear is the only difference is on this side of reality. There are people she cares about, and she didn't really sign up for that.
As the enormity of that hits her, adrenaline pumping in a hyper real and surreal moment in her life, I would like for you to please roll for her a focus roll.
Ooh, okay. Focus. I just click on the word.
Yeah, I think so. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, you click on the. No, not on the word. You click on the dots,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
I see.
it'll set you up right there.
Right. Oh yeah, it's a pool. That's true. Okay. There we go. I got a 2 on the gilded and 5 on the regular die.
Okay, there's no reason for you to use the gilded because you haven't burned a drive.
Mhm.
And it's lower. So with a 5, you have a mixed success. So the scar that you take is from brain.
Mhm.
So what happens here is as that enormity hits Lucille's mind, panic threatens to creep in and dulls her spatial awareness a little bit. There is another creature taking the form of her that comes right up. She doesn't notice from where and begins throttling her. At which point the actual Vox comes in, grabs onto the fake version of Lucille in front of her, chokes her out, pulls her off, and Lightkeeper Sterling stabs that one in the chest, all right in front of you, blood splattering onto you. Vox looks slightly dissociated, not happy with what's happening. Uh, Lightkeeper Sterling hits you with a big mischievous smile.
Hmm.
As you take this scar from Brain, where do you take a dot away from, and where do you put a dot to reflect the way that this moment changed you?
It's something of an emotional tourniquet that she has to cut something from her to protect the rest of her. And that thing is ironically the thing she wishes she had more of, her connection with other people. And so she loses one in read, but she gains one in survey because of a growing sense of hypervigilance. If she lives in a world where anything could look like anything and be a threat to the people she cares about, yes, it feels better to care a little bit less, but she just can't help but it's more of a reallocation of that care. It is now just a constant scanning of the environment, always ready to step in and protect those people that she cares about the most.
I love that. As she moves back into herself in the present moment with the newspaper in hand, and her visual focus settles back in to the present moment. Over past the top of the newspaper, she sees an image, framed photograph of the circle. She sees herself in the photograph standing close to the center near Sterling. And he has that same smile from the memory that you just saw. What does she feel in that moment?
I think she feels mostly self judgment because the emotion just under that meta emotion is suspicion. She can't understand. It's a facial expression in the photograph makes sense, but from the memory, it doesn't fit the scenario. She can't explain it. She has no reason to doubt him, but in not being able to figure him out, she can't help but suspect him. She can't help but suspect him.
And as she thinks that thought and puts the newspaper down, she could swear she sees some blood on her hands from the spatter in her memory. And that's where we leave her as we go to our final circle member we will be introducing in this moment, Cabrice Jones. Where do we find Cabrice Jones?
Yeah. Cabris is in a park in the Briar Green district. Paints a fairly light easel and a canvas. Seemingly just trying to do a simple sort of oil painting of just the day, the spot that they've chosen to sort of put onto the canvas. It's nice out, not too many clouds, not too sunny. There's some paint splotches on their sort of like, they've got the zoot suit pants, little oversized, the belt's overcompensating almost for how he's kind of swimming in them. Plain button-up shirt, messy tie, paint splotches here and there across the whole thing. Hair a little on the longer side, but all put up.
The kit that Cabrice brings to paint, there's a note hidden in a piece of it. Where was the note hidden? Where did Cabrice find the note?
I think it was like quadruple folded and kind of amongst the messy sort of tubes of paint. probably just the little bit of reds and yellows from things that weren't properly sealed or had gotten smudged with paint in the past on the outer folds.
Does Covers open it up?
I think she takes a moment. Was going to realize that, she was missing a color, that she needed to get a particular hue of green just right, and instead finds it and stares at it. And there's a moment of considering pretending it's not there before curiosity gets the better.
She opens it up. She sees in a very familiar set of handwriting, "I miss you. Paint me your heart." It just says V at the bottom. What do you do?
I think there's like the instinctual like crumple before kind of regretting it and like trying to smooth it out. Closing it, reopening it. It's been a minute since Cabrice has heard from V. And it's not the first time, and Cabrice doesn't expect it to be the last time to have sort of a blip in contact necessarily, especially since the circle retired. But there's conflict. The immediate desire to do whatever V is asked versus the like, I was in the middle of something. And also, like, what do you mean? and and how dare you ask me for something after ghosting me for however many weeks or months? And like, Caprice kind of puts the note away for a moment, like folds it up and tucks it, and is like, thinks that he's just gonna go back to painting, like whatever he was doing. And when he kind of comes back to again, there's like an anatomically correct heart in the clouds in the painting.
Let me ask this. Does he think that V would love that?
Probably thought it would be funnier if even the individuals in the painting, as sort of vague figures as they are, if they had also had little like the shadow of anatomically correct hearts coming from all of their chest on top of that. And it just makes Cabris put the paintbrush down and just kind of stare.
As Cabris is staring, their vision tunnels, and it seems to him like the heart starts beating in concentric versions of itself out of the painting. For a moment, it's like he's not sure. Is the eyes like having an issue? Like, is he? Sometimes the blood pumps a little too hard, right? Is it the eye that's moving, or? But no, the more that she focuses, the more it's clear this is coming out, and the more he hears louder, and sees V covered in blood, a person dead at her feet, staring years ago, but also right now at Cabrice. Where are we?
this was from a case that was not that far from our circle, not too far from the House of Theseus. Maybe we thought it was going to be kind of typical, a quick call, and it very quickly became more of a nightmare. I think it's like a what was going to be like a glamorous party in some penthouse sort of setup. And instead of a party, there's just us and bodies.
And blankness. Hard to remember everything about that night. Hard to forget that Vox killed not a creature crossing the thinning, but a person, one of the people who invited you to this party, in front of you as they had been coming for you, ready to slit your throat. V looks you in the eyes, terrified by what she just did. This was, in the history of your time together, the first time, not the first time that V killed, but the first time that V killed someone, not from the other side, but from here. And she did it for you. What did you do?
I hesitated a second too long. But after the initial surprise and terror and confusion, something that normally doesn't kick in for Cabris very well is the acknowledgement of how somebody else is feeling, and realizing that in all of Cabris's terror in that moment, Vox is 10 times worse. And so Cabris slowly steps forward, sort of hands up, steps over the body, and kind of, despite some of the blood, like holds V's face, just kind of forces her to focus on me. We're safe. We're safe. Keep breathing.
She holds his face back, and you see that you're regulating her, right? She is coming back into herself. And then her eyes go wide, looking just behind you, and I need you to give me a focus roll, please.
Oops.
Cool.
That's a 1.
Ah, okay. All right, everybody. So that is going to be a scar from bleed. And you're going to carry over a scar. You're going to carry, not a scar, you're going to carry over 1 mark from brain to this present moment. You feel in this moment an incredibly present echo, as though it's happening all over again. What it felt like for this creature to wrap itself around you from behind as you comforted a woman you you at least have loved since. Maybe you loved already then. You definitely learned something new about in that moment, and that was that she loved you enough to do something that took something from her forever so that you could be safe. And as you tried to give her that safety back, she saw the sacrifice she just made getting snatched away from her. You saw the terror in her eyes, and you felt a creeping, crushing cold grab you from behind. Um, what did it feel like to take this scar from bleed, and how does it still remind you of it uh, to this very day? How does it make itself present in your life?
Yeah. I think it felt like getting stabbed in the back and dumped in an ice lake. And I think that like physical and like psychosomatic scar like still pops up. I think that like cold, sharp pain in the back just haunts Cabras every now and again. Um, Even just a small chilly wind can sometimes bring it back in full force. Um, like taking that sensation of like someone you love putting their hand on the small of your back and turning it into a torture. Um, yeah. Um, I think Cabras like loses something in like their connect. They've always been overly attuned to sort of the thinning and the bleed. Um, and I think that scar like overpowers a little of that sense, which is like in some ways a little bit of a relief, and in other ways terrible. um, and I think pulls a pit from their like sensing and puts it into focus and like remembering whether they want to or not.
The last part of this memory that sits with you in this moment is that when the cold faded, V was looking still over your shoulders, but with comfort and admiration. And you heard the voice of Samira say, "That was close. We've got to go." And you saw the same love in V's eyes that you saw a moment ago, looking past you. You're back staring at the heart that you painted for V, who does still love you, but not only you, and who you have not seen in some time, as she and Samira, after the circle retired, have been quietly assembling a life you were invited to be a part of, but a life that you did not ultimately choose. How do you feel about that in this moment?
There's a little bit of regret. But at the end of the day, realistically, they couldn't follow. They couldn't be where Samira was in in the suffocation of V's love, but at the both of them. Carice doesn't mind, doesn't care that V loves other people and things. It's the whole world belongs to everyone. Carice doesn't get to monopolize a scene in the Briar Green indefinitely and forever, and feels similarly about people to an extent. It, with Samir specifically, never would have worked.
The last time you saw the two of them was the last time you all were together. When you closed up the House of Theseus, you moved out of this art commune you called home, this place where you felt safe, where you were connected, the Fourth Foros. I want each of you to tell me what stands out to you most as you think back on that last moment, capping off a dangerous and definitive decade in your life. And we'll start with Cabrice. Think about this.
Cabrice is conflicted because having to be in danger and deal with others in danger, especially V, all the time, was just hard. And at the same time, them in particular stopping doesn't mean that these things will stop happening. And Cabrice has always been sensitive to that, to those happenings. And so there's a bit of a wondering if this will actually mean being able to go back to a normal life and going back to their art, or if this is just a pretend end to a chapter.
Cabrice, as you sit with that, a part of you possibly knowing that because these thinnings won't stop coming and your sensitivity isn't something you can turn off, you know the answer already, a little bit. As it hits you, you see another member of the circle who's with us right now. Who is it that catches your eye?
Tariq.
Okay. Tariq, in this moment of ending and beginning, what does Tariq want and what does Tariq do about it?
This is speaking of the moment when the circle dissolved.
Ended.
Right?
Yes. The last you'd been talking about doing it. You had completed your mission. It was successful. This is still an ending. This will no longer be your home. These people will no longer be in your life day to day. You don't have a shared context anymore. And the urgency of your work, the sense of doing something important that is vital, that protects people, is already slipping from you. Your sister is here. Her partner is here. Your friends are here. And you do not know when you will see all of them together again next. What do you want in this moment and what do you do about it?
I think Tariq, in that moment, despite the fact that we completed what we set out to do and we're still alive, I think Tariq would have just felt a void in himself, because after 20 odd years of doing what he's been doing with different circles and with this circle, he does not know if he has a place outside of it. He doesn't know if he can be a normal person with all of what is his normal. And I think, yeah, he would have been just slowly whistling a sad tune to himself. He would have caught all of their eyes, but he knows that there was a discussion and that this is ending. He is not really sure about a beginning. Yeah, he would have actually, I think he was not ready to confront anybody about it, about what he was feeling. I think Tariq would have been the first person, like, to, after that awkward silence began, I think Tariq would have been the first to break it, as he would have stepped up and, like, with a clap, tap, tap, tap of his stick, he would have turned back and said, "Well, me brethren, it, like all things, everything must come to an end. But the older the moon, the brighter it shines. As we are all older and wiser, me wish you best of luck. And we be seeing you around, yeah."
Lightkeeper Sterling smiles across the room, and you all felt in this moment this same magnetism, almost otherworldly, that you felt from the first time that you met him. He is the kind of person who can bring all of you together, the kind of person who effortlessly commands a room. And he looks over at you, having shared this bit of wisdom, and says, you can always be a lightkeeper. If you change your mind.
Nah, big boss.
We thought you were going to do it.
Not this day. Not this day. But who knows what the pages of the book we still be writing unfold and bring to us.
You all deserve your retirement. And this opens up to the room. You change your mind, any of you. You don't need to take another circle assignment. You don't have to go out into the field. There are many circles that each of you could lead. Everyone here is brilliant. Everyone here is a leader. Any circle would be lucky. I've been lucky to get to be with all of you for 10 years of my life and do the work that only we could do together. Thank you for trusting me with that.
Bless up to all of you. And Big Boss Man, maybe going away now, but you know where you can be finding me.
Of course. Maybe we, I don't know, play some dominoes or something, right? Isn't that something people do? Just when they're not working all the time? I'm not retiring, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but I will say I do hope to have a little more time, to a little more time to myself, and I really do hope to see all of you. And all of you know this man well enough to see very clearly in his face that doesn't really actually mask all that much when it's just all of you together. He already knows. He already knows that you're not really going to see each other. Lucille, you've known him the longest. How are you feeling in this moment?
I think Lucille has her own mismatched little chuckle, little smile on her face, because she's realizing the moment that she is in is familiar in a very mundane way. She feels as though she had just been sitting in a theater with a group of her friends watching a thrilling play, and the play is over, and the fiction, the world, the escape is gone. The curtain has come down. They have walked out of the theater, squinted at the light. I guess it's a matinee. And they are chatting about what they have seen, but they are no longer experiencing it together. And they are in the liminal space. That's not really what a liminal space is, but they're in the in-between of just being on the edge of splitting off and going their separate ways. And I think she's remembering what brought her into the circle in the first place. The idea that if there was something more to reality and there was something more to protect in the existence of reality, and she could work towards protecting what she knew and keeping her world safe, she doesn't want to admit it, by putting her life on the line, then maybe her life wouldn't matter. And just like the reviews and the responses she's heard from people who have watched her plays, once again, she is caught in a cycle of, we did it just to do it and it's done. And that's it. And a part of her kind of hopes that the threat will persist just so that she'll have something more to do, but she tamps that down because does it even really matter if it just exists to make her feel like she matters? And so she's kind of, I don't think there's no joy in her eyes really. There's just like this weird sardonic kind of like smirk on her face. I don't think she's saying much. I think she doesn't stay silent long enough that it seems impolite, but there is this cold certainty in this new but like achingly familiar realization of, oh, it's only ever this.
When her focus returns from the depths of her assessment to the present moment, she realizes that Sterling has caught her with what she's doing. Sterling has known her long enough to see that face and know what it means. And he smiles a mischievous smile that he's had since you were kids. A smile that it's easy to wonder how he still has after all that you've seen and done. And you may not have the comfort that you're seeking from reaching for a sense of satisfaction and relief that no amount of artistic achievement or achievement through the circle can bring. But you do not feel alone because you do feel seen. That smile is seen by Ollie. Ollie, this smile, you love smiles, right? Like you love the joy of people. And you've known this man for a long time. You just saw him tear up speaking of the time you've had together. You have every reason to know that this is a man who truly cares, who puts his life on the line alongside all of you, goes out into the field, doesn't just send you on assignments like most lightkeepers do, joins you very often. But something about that smile has always hit you wrong. How does it feel in this moment, Ollie? And how do you feel as you get ready to say goodbye to so many people who you love, not knowing when you're going to get to see any of them again?
I think all that whole day has been taking pictures, been very quiet, like not really said much of anything at all. Has been looking off into the distance. And I think at that moment, I think she'll try to snap a picture of the lightkeeper.
I love that. Um, Go ahead and do that. And as you do it, go ahead and roll me a sense roll, please.
Okay, I'm going to just my sheet went away for a second.
Yeah, no stress. If it's helpful to know, it's 3 dots, I believe, that you still have in sense, unless you switched that now with the scar. Try to reload this. Yep, still 3 dots in sense, and one's gilded.
um, yeah, so that's a one.
Okay.
I think I'm not sure.
Well, what did you? What was the
Oh no,
result
it's
from
not a
all three?
one. I'm sorry. I was
Yeah,
looking at
because
the
it
wrong
should.
thing.
No worries. Yeah, it should be 3 dice.
It's
Um,
it's the symbol. Oh, it's a six.
it's a
It, it
6. Beautiful.
the gilded is a four. I don't think I needed to do gilded, and then there's two sixes.
2 6s. So that's a critical success. So
Okay.
this is our second critical success of the game. Y'all are killing it. The we're like an hour and a half in, and the second critical success. So the people at home know, with a critical success in the system, you succeed without consequence, and you get something extra. So this is how that's going to go down. You catch through your camera. You get a photo of him. It looks normal. He looks as charming as ever, right? And he looks directly into it, as though he like knew you were about to do it, right? Like he's so used to you grabbing it up, he just reacts to it, flashes a smile. You want to punch him a little bit over it, but he looks so charming. You know, it's hard. Uh, you see through your viewfinder, but not in the photo that follows, a shadow behind him. Is it a shadow? It's almost like a bright spot. Actually, what it is it's an emptiness, something in negative space, but not dark, too bright. That looks like it creeps right over his shoulder, and then it's gone. And since this is a critical success, I'm going to let you ask me anything you want about that, and I will answer it completely.
Is that emptiness after us?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Oleander is going to tell everyone they need to get out, and she never wants to see them again, and she leaves.
And as she runs out, with her camera, having stated that, how does everybody react?
Blood clot.
I think there's slight irritation on Lucille's face, but there's also mostly it's disbelief. As calm as Lucille is, she tends to, even before the events of what had happened that had changed her over time, she's always been kind of subdued in her behavior. And there's an interesting, like, she's a sort of foil, I guess, in her manner against Ollie, and that Ollie tends to be more expressive and more openly caring in those kind of ways. And so I think there's even it. I think it's even more subdued because she's aware of the fact that like it's a little overplayed for her to immediately be like, oh yeah, of course you're the one to have the big emotional outburst and run out. But that is her response, that she doesn't take it personally because she doesn't fully believe that Ollie is saying something that she genuinely will believe believe in the next like 15 minutes.
Samira sees Lucille's reaction and says to Lucille and to the room, I told her this was going to be hard for her. She loves too deeply. I don't know how she's going to... I hope that she makes it without us.
I think she'll make it just fine.
Well, you know, a good way to help with that would probably be for you to check on her. I think we'll try to, too. And she says that, putting her arm around V. Invite her over. See what we can do to make sure she doesn't feel too alone. She doesn't feel like that love is only one way.
Of course it's not.
You're always welcome too. And V moves away from Samira a little bit at that, and gives her a withering look that you know says, you don't need to do that, right? And walks over to you and puts out her hand. Takes it. It's firm and soft. And says to you, I am going to see you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, V.
Don't break my heart.
I'm not really going anywhere, so I'll be around.
You know I do want to see you whenever you want, right?
Yeah. No, I don't doubt that. I just kind of glances over at Samira.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to make it harder than it has to be.
The best things are hard, right? It's worth it.
Can be.
For me. For whatever that's worth. You're worth it, yeah?
Yeah. You're worth
And as
it.
that...
Yeah,
She's,
bumbo, clat, bumbo, pussy, rasclat. You better be taking care of me sister first.
Well, so your sister heads over towards you while that's happening. And she doesn't look bothered at all, actually. She's fine with this. And as you say that, she punches you in the arm and she's like, let them have their moment. I'm fine. You don't need to protect me.
Me waited till it got over.
I appreciate that. Thank you. What about you, by the way? Like, what are you gonna do? Right? Like, are you even gonna remember to eat? I feel like you don't eat if I don't tell you to eat.
What you think of me? What? Me no blood clot folk like that.
You know what I think? I think that you get so wrapped up in your music and in helping other people out and whatever you have in front of you, you don't eat. You don't eat, you don't drink, you get dehydrated. These are basic things. It isn't something from across the thinnings that are going to get you. It's not the flare. It's just like dehydration.
Go on, go on. What you want to say? Make it clear. You are concerned for me.
I'm always concerned for you. I've been concerned for you our entire lives. I'm going to be concerned for you until the day we die, which I hope is together at the same time, because I don't want to live in a world that you're not in, and I don't think you can handle a world that I'm not in.
Blood fire. Why you want to say things like this, sister? We're gonna grow old and we're gonna die there in peaceful bed. Bomb and bad. We cannot be this negative. This not be how we play. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. As everyone here gonna be. He will kind of like grimace at that. Look at Samira. Look at Cabris and just catch her eye and just give her a little shake of the head. And then looking back to, what is his name? Walks. Just. And
she looks back at you. Vox looks back at you. And to give you a little bit of a sense here, Samira, your sister, is very tall. Vox is not, right? But Vox is built very strong, right? So compact, but pure muscle, right? And graceful with that musculature. Very, very impressive. And has the sort of vibe that feels tall, even when you're not, right? And you see V look over at you and be like, I know. I see you too. And then glances over to Samira and has a full hey baby face that you feel your sister melt in front of.
Yeah, God, suck your mother or your father.
and she punches you in the arm again. That one hurts a little bit.
Me stop now.
Yeah. Okay. Says, all right, you're coming over too. We're going to cook for you. I'm going to make you take leftovers home. And then you're going to call me every day is what's going to happen. Okay? I'm not going to call you because I'm not our mother. Okay? You are going to call me because you love me. Right?
Bomba. Yes, me do.
All right.
Samira, me.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about me that much. Me be all right.
It's a gift to worry about you, brother. I worry because I love. I'm not going to stop. I don't want to lose that, right? But you can make me worry a little bit less if you take better care of yourself. And
me be doing that.
The group is able to stay as long as they'd like, but the day does eventually end. Ollie, when you ran out and nobody followed, what did you do?
I'm sorry. I did. We kind of moved past that moment.
Sure. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't catch.
Like Tariq, like, yeah. I mean, he would have wanted to go out after, but like that moment has passed. So yeah.
Well, he can still go now. He can still be thinking about her and go at this point after everything that we just described. So I'll amend my question. Nobody came out for some time, and then eventually, if you're still there, Tariq does. Are you still there? What did you do in the interim, and how do you feel when Tariq arrives, if you are there when he does?
Actually, I um, found the first person that looked kind of single and just attached myself.
So that person is just sitting there having a ball talking to you. They were very lonely. So y'all are just sitting on a bench out there chatting about stuff. They're a birder. So they're talking to you about birds a lot. Now I'm going to say this very clearly above table. Danny is not a birder. So I don't have all those bird facts just like locked and loaded for y'all. But in this theater of the mind, let's believe that this person is telling you deeply meaningful, specific things about different birds native to this part of New Fair. How do you feel about that?
This person has always
Ornithology.
full attention, um, and she's taking everything in and really engaged in the conversation. Um, Basically, just so you all know what happened is she left. She was afraid, and then she just found the first person that she could to fill that hole.
So this person is talking a lot about how birds are just dinosaurs, and that wings are a an evolutionary advantage that allowed them to stick around, and goes on about that until Tariq arrives. Tariq, how do you react when you see your friend speaking with someone you don't know who is essentially monologuing about birds?
Me know, me know Ali well. What the expression on her face?
She is. She's enamored. She just loves hearing about birds and dinosaurs and their flight patterns and whatever else.
Yeah,
Coloration, the different like kinds of wings, the ways that different flight patterns say things about them
Yeah,
socially.
a whole series of bird photos is going to be coming after this.
I completely forgot for a second that Tariq is blind, so he would have listened for her heartbeat, and once he got that feeling, I think Tariq would have just smiled to himself and just shaking his head and taken out his Cora and just set it up and started playing a very, like, uh, like, very sweet kind of
As
background music.
as you play this, you feel your relationship to magic um running through your music. Is that common for you?
The first thing that Tariq remembers is the sound of his mother singing. So, music, always magic.
And the birds in the area come around you like a crowd as you play, and they add their song to yours. The person who you're speaking to, Ollie, is fascinated. And you hear a familiar voice come in from your other shoulder and say, "Is the shop open today?" And standing at 5 foot nothing, indomitable, is Doris, your regular, who has sworn that the House of Theseus is a shop from her childhood decades ago that you're not sure it ever actually was, but it definitely has not been in the decade ish that you've been there. You've explained it infinite times. She never accepts it. She doesn't really fight you. She just looks at you and says, "But I need to get in and get my stuff."
But
When you've let her in, she just hangs out. Right now, she's asking you.
I'm sorry, Doris. I quit. I've decided to dedicate my life to learning about birds.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a worthwhile endeavor. Do you know if the shop is still going to stay open?
No, because I quit, it all fell apart. I'm sorry. You have to find another shop.
That's okay, dear. You have to follow your heart in this life. It's too short. You know, I'm proud of you that you're doing what you want to do. You're too good for that shop. You're always too good for that shop. I always said that. I told everybody. Told everybody, Ollie's too good for the shop.
Oh, thank you, Doris. If I see you around, I'll say hi.
Can you take a picture of me
Yeah,
with you and with Tariq and your new bird friend?
yes, I will. Just stand over there, right? And she kind of directs her where the doors to stand for the best light.
Beautiful. Uh,
Through my music, can I communicate to the birds with just like a quick little, and
Absolutely.
when the picture is taken at that moment, one of the many birds in the scene will take a shit on Doris.
Okay. Yeah, that is 100% fine. The bird shits on Doris's head, and you catch Doris cackling in the photo. And as soon as the photo's over, she says, "That's good luck. I bet the shop's going to be open." This is always
Yeah,
good luck.
bum, clap.
I'm gonna go check. I bet it's still open. Then works her way toward the house of Theseus. Ollie, hit me with another sense roll, please, as you look through your viewfinder.
Dear.
Oh, Doris.
Okay, I got a. You just need the second two, right?
Well, I mean, if you want to tell me all three and just let me know which
Okay.
one's gilded.
The gilded is a 5, and then I have a 3 and a 5.
Perfect. So again, don't need to use the gilded. You haven't used any drives yet, but the five is a mixed success. So you take this photo, and Doris doesn't have anything like what made you run away inside. Doris comes out more clearly than anything else in the photo. There's more detail. She's more grounded. It's a higher resolution to the part of the image that she's in than any that you've taken before. And with your expert eye, you catch texture to her reality that is stunning and startling. Maybe it's just really good light right now. You know, what do you do?
Um, I okay. I tell my friend, my new bird friend, to hold on for a moment because I need to talk to my favorite customer really quickly, and I go over to just, I don't know, say hi to Doris to get her contact information.
Sure. Yeah, she'll talk to you as long as you want. Doris is like your bird friend, who we're going to name Phil. Phil is the bird friend. He's Phil's the bird friend now. The You keep gifting me NPCs, y'all. The Yeah. So Doris is really excited to talk to you and wants to hear all about the life you have planned, having quit the store. Like you must have a plan, right? I mean, I know that you'd been there for so long. For you to leave somewhere with so much stability and everything, all the people that you knew, you've got to have something really exciting lined up. What are you planning to do?
Actually, I don't have a plan. I couldn't work here anymore, and I've heard about birds and they sound really interesting.
That's great. I think that is really great. And you see that there's a little bit of sadness in her eyes, but a smile on her face.
You
And she
know, you
says,
could come over Sunday for dinner.
that'd be wonderful. I'll bring a casserole, because I'm not going to show up empty-handed because I was raised right, right?
Right.
And you can set up everything else if you want your friends to come over. That's fine.
No,
You
it'll just
can.
be you and my new friend Phil, and maybe some other people, but not the people here.
Okay, that's okay. I don't mind that your friend here made the bird take a shit on me. By the way, um,
You're not
it's
upset about
okay.
that?
How does she know? Like what?
Do you want to roll for it?
I think, like, after he heard that, actually, like,
Mhm.
that Ollie does not want to interact with him. I think that he could have just given a nod, and as soon as talks of casserole and all started, he would have done a quick little, and the bird that sat on her, it's not me, who's my magpie,
Mhm.
comes and alights on my shoulder, and uh, Tariq just looks at it, not me, and just goes, "Brother, we gotta disappear." And
Paint
before
us a
talk of,
picture. Paint us a picture of your magpie. I would love for everybody to be able to really clearly see your magpie.
uh, it not me be medium size. He's about 2 years old. Found him some time back. Um, Black plumage, white V on the chest, like most magpie. He's a It Not Me is a sneaky devil of a bird who uses his mimicking ability to just, essentially like be like Kiri from Critical Role. Like
Mhm.
he just blurts out like people's secrets in random conversations. Like he's a naughty little boy.
I love that. Um, so as the two of you go in your separate ways outside, we go back inside. How do the two of you say goodbye to this place and potentially, at least for now, to the three other people in it?
Lucille would have left quietly when I can't remember exactly who said it, but somebody said we need to make sure she knows the love doesn't go one way in regards to Ollie, and
Mhm.
that was too much for her. And she just sort of quietly and politely and took advantage of the humorous like sibling dynamic that started popping off. She just went home, left quietly. No goodbye.
Uh,
Above table, I gotta say, relatable.
Yeah.
uh,
Ooh.
Tariq,
Oh,
Tariq,
bye.
Tariq also would have just. Sorry to interrupt. I forgot this.
Go ahead. It's okay.
He did want to, like, pass on a little note to Ollie, like trying to sneakily do it without, like, I would have had It Not Me kind of distract Doris and Phil, but in that moment, I think I would have tapped Ollie's shoulder and, like, just take it. You need to know that you not be alone here, sister.
Yeah. Um,
Do you take it?
Yes.
As you take it, she'll nod and give you a bit of a sad smile, um, and lean forward, and like, he will do a an embrace that, like, you both of us have done before. He will take one hand behind your head and pull it to his forehead, and, like, slowly, gently touch. Let stay there for a second, and then he's going to yeah, there'd be a single trail of a tear going down his cheek, but he'd wipe it off, and he'd give you a nod, and flood fire, maybe gone. Yeah.
Ollie will say goodbye.
It not be goodbye, be see you later.
I don't know. Be safe out there.
Right back at you, brethren. Right back at you. Head it off.
Cabris.
I think when Shriek was slipping away, that was Cabris's cue to sort of let V go, because Samir was obviously going to turn back that way. And I think actually Cabris has paint set up to paint the like outer wall of our now closed House of Theseus here. And I think sort of like looks at the paints and then looks off to where Ollie went, and then just kind of sighs and stays with the paints, and is going to do a mural. That probably includes like a lighthouse and a sunset, and some other little nods here and there to everyone's sort of art of choice.
You have all the time and everything you need to make that mural exactly the way that you want it to be. That day and any other day, if you need to come back to it. Once it's completed and that last bit of service to the circle has ended, do you ever walk by it? Do you try to avoid it?
I think whether on purpose or an accident, Cabris always ends up passing by it on like the second Saturday on the dot every month. And after realizing that that's happening, even on accident, tries to avoid it, and it doesn't work. And just kind of makes a point to pass it on that day every time. I don't think she reaches out to anybody. I don't think she tells me about it. I don't think she ever tries to get in contact with Sterling again, but I think it does just sort of happen, and there's always the question of wondering if anybody else has seen it.
Every time she passes it, as it leaves her vision, as it starts to enter it on the peripheries of catching it, it feels like it's moving. It's alive. She could swear that she hears the sounds of this peaceful place. Feels like the light she painted in off the lighthouse follows her a bit. Not in a way that feels unnerving, actually. In a way that feels like home. Like an extension of her gift that she has given to this place, these people, and this corner of the world. Have any of the rest of you seen the mural in the months since? Tariq, what was it like when you saw it?
In as much as he can see.
Right.
He's not blind. He uses his sense to see the world. So it's almost like, an default, like he has his senses open all the time. Because, yeah, I mean, one thing, he lost his eyes because he wasn't looking out. And second thing, this is the only way that he can actually interact with the world in a way that is not uh, as difficult as it would have been otherwise. He and Tariq, I think, has always had a low-key form of synesthesia going on. So he smells from the image that he sees the chemicals that Ollie used for her photos. He sensed the ink that um, what is your character's name? Damn it.
You talk Lucille?
Gabby?
Lucille, yes,
Okay.
Lucille. The poetry and writing that she used, the ink from it, she smells. She feels and hears the heartbeat that comes from her, like, from Cabrice's own work, and a painful twist of a chord when uh, his sister, when Samira is, and with walks again, it's the drowning sound of a piano that is falling off the edge of a world. And Sterling, I don't know, what do I get about Sterling?
Sterling is hard to pin down. Sterling's voice carries a weight to it that is unlike what you have heard in anyone else's. You've heard a lot of confident, competent, charming, intelligent people, everyone in this circle, and others. There is something specific about the way that Sterling speaks, something unique about his ability to identify what matters to the person he's speaking to and unpack it and use it, that can be found in the quality of his voice as much as in anything he actually says. I think that what might be a little unnerving, understandably, to Tariq, is that when he is not speaking, it is very hard for Tariq to sense him at all.
I think after processing all of that, what comes to him is that goddamn toothpaste that he always uses for his teeth are a beacon in the night. Yeah, the white grin that he gives, like it's a blinding white. Yeah, that's what he gets.
You heard it here first, folks. Sterling's got pristine oral hygiene. All right. As you all say your goodbyes, we take our break. And when we come back, we are going to find ourselves in the present moment. So come on back in the next few minutes. Stick around. Thank you for being with us so much. Thank you, everybody in the cast. You all are wonderful. We're just going to take 5. Go on your bios. People in the audience, just like us, if you need to, make sure you have water and make sure to check out the Tiltify, right? Because that is why we're here. We're going to do that again. We'll come back in 5 minutes. So see you soon.
Hey, what's the word, blurs and nerds? It's your 40-something non-binary boy, Mark J, coming to you live from right outside the nation's occupied capital. Welcome to Apocalyptic Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. APOC-U wants to give a big shout out and massive thanks to this year's sponsors, Transplaner RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. Transplaner RPG is an award-winning, all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They're proud to support the APOC-U Black History Month fundraiser and encourage everyone watching to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people of the U.S. and the world, fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. Frivolous Bear Studios is a game company dedicated to telling untold stories and amplifying marginalized voices. Their first game, The Home We Remember, is an introspective, lyric role-playing game that uses tarot cards to explore your characters' memories and their relationships to a community hit by tragedy. Produced in collaboration with Tender Vision Studios, The Home We Remember was lovingly crafted by a team of majority queer, trans, and racialized storytellers. Visit frivolousbear.com to get your copy today. And last but certainly not least, a special shout out to our third and final sponsor, Quinn Murphy of Thought Crimes Games, the makers of Griot Anthology. The Griot Anthology is a zine celebrating the brilliant work of black TTRPG game designers, utilizing the powerful medium roleplay. This anthology holds space for intersectional blackness in the past, present, and future, giving us the opportunity to tell our own unique stories and share our unique perspectives. Go to the website itch.io and search for Griot Anthology to pick up a copy today.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out during the break and rejoining us here at the show. You are watching Apochromatic Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This is a fundraiser raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. Lavender Rights Project is a fantastic organization. It is a Black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm Black communities. We also want to give a big thanks and a shout out once again to this year's sponsors, Transplanter RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. So get in the Tiltify. Please donate and stick around. If you're feeling up for the following content warnings, we're dealing with cosmic bliss, horror of the sublime, anti-mimetic erasure, cosmic horror, body horror, psychological horror, existential horror, gaslighting in a heightened way, not in a grounded day-to-day way, and identity erasure. So if that's not what you're up for right now, that's entirely okay. Please feel free to do whatever you need to do to keep yourself safe. We're doing the same for ourselves here at the table. And go ahead and donate anyway, right? Like if you don't feel like sticking around here, there's lots of other games that are coming up. There's another one after us today, right after this one. There's going to be more the next couple of days, and then for the rest of the month, we're doing our second part starting at the same time next week. So it's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S. That we play the second part of this next time. So if you're enjoying this and you stick with us now and you want to see some more of where it goes, check us out some more then. With that having been said, we return to New Fair in a moment, some months after where we left our circle, the circle of the Dreaming Key, that is no more, that has become a part of Candela Obscura history. The beautiful, moving mural that Cabres has gifted not just himself or the circle, but the city, stands pristine as in these short months the house of Theseus, as though no longer fed by the life that lived inside of it, decays. As you walk by every other Saturday, you see the unmistakable signs of disuse, of neglect. No one has come in to squat. No one has taken official use of it. As far as you know, Candela Obscura most likely still has a connection to the Foros through it. The most recent Saturday before this moment, something different. It's hard to pin down. Is it a little cleaner at the door? It feels separate somehow from the painting. Do you take a moment to give it more of a look, or do you just walk by?
I'm too nosy to leave that alone.
All right. Go ahead and roll me focus, please.
Okay. Ooh, 6.
Okay. So on a 6, you see that it has started to be renovated, it seems. There seems to be somebody taking over it. Something new is happening in the House of Theseus. From the outside, you are only really able to pick up that it looks like it is getting ready to open soon. And that it looks like it is going to be public facing. This is not going to be at least the way it's presenting itself, a rotating space. It seems that something permanent is looking to take hold here. And you don't see any signs that make it seem like Candela Obscura is using this. You know, you've been a part of this space being used as third spaces of varying sorts, and Candela Obscura will often, for those in the know, hide iconography in this temporary signage to make sure that those who know, right? None of that is here. But you do see a name in a sign visible just inside of the doorway that now has glass in part of it to allow you to look in, which was never the case before. That says, "Welcome, Jules Vane." And as we leave you in that moment, I take all of us to a moment that none of your characters see, but we do. At night, in the house of Theseus, Jules Vane, a tall man in an impeccable suit, with a smile that does not reach his eyes, stands speaking to Lightkeeper Sterling. The conversation goes on for a bit. They speak about a new day. They speak about retirement. They speak about progress and well-earned rest. As Jules speaks and Sterling listens, Sterling looks tired. Sterling looks tired in a way that none of you have ever seen, that he doesn't let people see. And the more Vane speaks, the more tired Sterling gets. And behind him is the voice of Samira saying, "V, you don't want to miss this." Each of you receives, a week after that, a letter. A letter written to you by either Samira, V, or Sterling. I'm going to ask you who wrote each of you the letter. Let's start with... Actually, does anybody want to start?
I can go.
What? Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with Lucio.
Yeah, I think Sterling would have sent a letter to Lucille.
It's a handwritten letter. Do you see it written to you from Sterling, addressed to you, and marked urgent? Do you open it?
Yeah.
Cool. You're going to need to roll me both sense and focus, please.
Ooh. Okay, so sense and focus. Wait, how do I... Did I do it wrong?
I'm not sure because I can't see it on my side, but it's just one at a time. I just need the results of...
Okay, my brain went like straight World of Darkness for a minute there, and I was like, oh, I'll click them twice and then I'll hit roll. Didn't happen that way.
Okay, don't worry about it at all.
Okay.
No.
Sense. What? Why does it say that? Dice. What? Okay, I'm clicking clear. I'm clicking clear.
Yeah, that's gonna be...
I'm refreshing the whole page. We're
That's a good
abandoning
idea.
that entirely. What did I
That's
do?
super
Okay.
fair. It's super
Third
fair.
order. Sense. Roll. Okay, I understand the interface now. Oh, cool. A 1, a 4, and a 5.
Okay, so you were able to get a 5
On sense.
on sense. Go ahead and roll me focus too. We'll resolve both together.
All right. Ooh, I got a 4 and a 6.
Okay, very good. So a mixed success and a success. On the mixed success, which was for sense, you are going to take 1 bleed, but you don't take any brain. You open the letter, and as you read this missive, relatively short, still with a bit of Sterling's typical way of writing to you, but more curt, a little more to the point, a little strained, a little bit of shakiness in the hand that wrote the letter. You are invited to the opening of the gallery that will take the place of the House of Theseus. And he implores you to attend. It isn't just an invitation, he is begging you to come. With the 1 bleed that you take, you feel a compulsion to do it. There's something pulling you that you can feel, and you're having trouble resisting, that is making it feel like you're already there. What do you do?
I think Lucille folds the letter back, neatly puts it back into the envelope, places it down on the desk, and just takes a moment. I don't know, maybe in putting the letter away, does the feeling persist?
It persists. Yeah.
I think she's hoping that it would, because she had returned to a rather glamorous life. Well, not glamorous in the sense that, like, she's not a movie star, but of all the things she could have hoped to achieve and to the benefit she could have reaped as a poet and a playwright, she's kind of done pretty well for herself, but it's still not enough. And that pull, she knows she should be wary of it, but it's a pull towards something. And all she wants is something. And I think she feels a little bit of excitement. It's a misattribution of arousal problem. She just knows something has gone up when everything has been flatlined, and she doesn't know if it's terror or if it's excitement, but it's something.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no resistance in whatever action she takes throughout her day to make sure she gets to that event on time.
Love that. Tariq, let's go to you next. You receive a letter from which of these 3?
I think I'll get it from Samira.
I agree. I think that makes sense. And you see Samira writes to you calling you a pet name from your childhood. What is it?
Rascal.
Rascal. So she's addressed it Rascal. And she says, don't wait to open it, in parentheses underneath.
What this girl think me? And like he turns to, like, it not me, just shakes his head and hops down onto the letter and yeah, okay, and he will open it.
Cool. Roll me sense and then also roll me focus, please.
What the fuck? Okay. Critical success?
On which one?
On the sense. On the
On the
sense.
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now let's see how the focus roll is gonna fuck me over. Okay. Oh, okay. That is a 5 and a 5.
Okay, great. So you are going to take one brain
Okay.
from that focus roll. The sense will resolve first. Actually, which one do you want to resolve first?
Focus.
Okay. You think about your sister. You think about how she has been trying to take care of you forever, even though she's younger than you. And she always thinks she knows better than you. You're by yourself. You could admit she kind of does, right?
Me not gonna
You
lie.
you think back on your most powerful recent memory with her. What is it?
I think it was one of these dinners that she forced me to attend. Um, I would have gone to their residence, and I think Tariq would have had a very bad day at that point, and he would have taken it out on walks. And I think Samira would have gotten a little angry, actually, at how that went out. So, yeah, she, and that is the thing that I remember. She slipped into her original accent and said a lot of lot of curse words and asked me to get out. So I think that would be
How does he
that.
feel about it?
A little stupid. Um, but he's completely also all right with pinning it on walks. But yeah.
With that mix of denial and regret, he feels something hungry tug at his mind, and the edges of that memory fray as it is pulled from his mind, and he takes that one brain. And a relief and emptiness sets in as he forgets that memory forever. So your success, your sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think whatever comfort, however fleeting, and it was fleeting. It was momentary because for Tariq, the world and life is a harmony, and he knows that there's a note missing.
Yeah. But he can't put his finger on it, right? And that's worse. For the sense that was a critical success, to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to tell you what the success is. You can ask me absolutely anything you want. I will answer it fully about the success. This letter is a carrier of magic that does not originate with your sister. It has nothing to do with any connection to magic that you have ever known her to have. There is something intuitive about your understanding of your sister in general, and specifically when it comes to the ethereal. parts of our shared existence that you cannot be lied to about. And if this magic were to try to present itself as hers, it would be a blatant, ugly, entirely easy to see through lie. What would you like to ask me about that?
I know it's magic, and it's not my sister's. I can only ask you one question.
But I'll say anything. Like, you'll get a full answer for whatever it is.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to smart brain a double question in one, but like
Can't knock the hustle. Go for it. It's, if it works, it works. Yeah.
if it is magic that he does not recognize being from either Vox or Sterling, how is there magic is multifaceted, splendorous, and devastating, all of these things in between. Do I get a sense of malice?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. I will say, what more specifically, I suppose malice is a subjective term. What you get a sense of is what took from you. You get a sense of hunger. There is something hungering in this magic. Whoever or whatever placed it on this letter is ravenous, is feasting, and is seeking more sustenance.
He will drop the letter and like, I don't know, I think immediately kind of knee jerk just start stamping on it for a bit before Samira. And I think Tariq slings on his Korra and does not even bother with the cane. He's just full sense blasting, trying to get to Samira's house. Or what was told in the letter specifically?
So specifically, you're invited to the opening of the new gallery that is going to be taking the place of the House of Theseus. That is taking over that space. And your sister would have indicated that she and V are there. And this arrives on the day of, so this is not like you got to do it like days later. Like, this is, you're supposed to go now, basically.
Yeah. He will quickly click his tongue and it not me will kind of like fly ahead of him. Just like he's seeing through it not me, like just trying to get there as fast as possible.
Of that.
He's running.
All right. I think next we go to Ollie. Ollie, you receive the same letter at your home. Are you alone?
No, I'm never alone anymore. I I I keep myself surrounded with people and doing projects. I think I've been trying to take my photos and separate them by color to make a sunset out of the photos because I'm still trying to find a sunset.
Mm. As you do that, one of the other people there Uh, Phil, actually, who you've been hanging out with a lot since birding has become such an important part of your life, says, "Hey, it looks like somebody slipped a letter under your door," and goes to pick it up. What do you do?
Um, I
I want
go
I
to.
want y'all to know, by the way, Phil is not anything like a circle member. So if Phil does have to do any rolls, it is going to be at disadvantage, which means he's going to roll two. I'm going to roll two d6s over here. He's going to take the lower.
I mean, Ollie is going to look at the letter. Like, what does the envelope look like?
It's you see it as you would recognize it as Candela Obscura correspondence, right? Who sent it to you in your
It'll
case
be
of the
V.
three? V. So V wrote to you um, on the outside of it, to my muse, um, which you know is a joke and not a joke, right? Because V has always been fascinated by the way that your mind works and specifically the way that your heart works, right? Um, it manifests a lot of times with V in jokes, right? But jokes always coding a soft little center, right? So you know that when V calls you her muse, uh, she means it, even if she says it with a little bit of cut in her voice.
Okay. The thing is, I've been trying to ignore everything. So I'm going to take the letter and stick it up on my mural of um sunset mural that I'm trying to make. I'm trying to like not think about it.
Sure. As soon as you grab it, I'm going to need a sense roll and a focus roll from you, please.
Okay. Roll. I got all threes for sense.
Okay.
And let's see, focus, roll. I got a three and a five.
Okay. So for focus, you took a 5. For sense, you took a 3. You're going to take 2 bleed and 1 brain, and you are going to collapse to the floor at the center of your friends, none of whom are Candela Obscura people, none of whom have any idea what to do. And we're going to resolve these one at a time. We're going to do the focus first and then the
Okay, you said
sense.
how many bleed?
You take you did the 3 3s on the sense, right? So that's going to be 2 bleed on sense, on the sense roll, and then you just 1 brain on the focus
Okay.
roll. Um, I was the last time that you saw V what we already saw in the in like when the group was together.
Yes.
So I need you to tell me the time before that. The last time before that that you and V really got to connect. The last time that meant a lot to you.
I would say it would have been a couple of weeks before that. And
Mhm.
I would think Vive, she was working on some kind of sculpture. And I brought her some photographs for inspiration. And just, we sat there and we just had a really nice discussion, not about anything special, just that kind of talk you have with someone that you know well. And you just sit there and you talk and talk and talk, and before you know it, it's 3 hours later and you're late for work.
And you don't even care, right? Like there's a part is like this is what actually matters. This is what life is. What a beautiful, intimate, quiet moment. These are the moments that make a life. These are the moments that matter. The moments that you want to hold as you leave this place. There is something not near you so powerful that it can reach you from this distance that is ecstatic as they consume this moment from your mind. What does it feel like for Ollie as the pieces of this memory disappear and she loses the last vestige she has of what it meant to be such close friends with V.
I think as she's collapsing to the ground, it feels like a really, really terrible migraine that just keeps it doesn't it just keeps wrapping around her. And when it does pass, eventually there's just this emptiness that she's been trying to avoid, which is part of why she ignored the letter. She just wants doesn't want to feel that emptiness, but she doesn't know why she has that emptiness because she's surrounded by people. There's, the photographs, but she just feels this utter crushing emptiness.
As she feels this utter crushing emptiness, the last echo of that memory rings in her mind. It's V laughing, laughing the way that she always laughed. Laughs? Hard to say. Uh, when you would talk about what you love. The sense that you failed. You feel the bleed creep around your eyes, your ears. Those around you can't see anything, but you can feel it grabbing you through your senses. Your eyes burst open without you asking them to, and you see too much. You see the people around you in the moment they will die. You don't see what causes it. You don't see when it is. You simply see what they will look like in their face when they die. And the world becomes a little more plastic. There's an alienation, a distance. It feels unreal. Some of the world is hard to focus on. It's fuzzy. And you see the photo of Doris and Phil on that day by the bench with the birds. And the only part in focus is Doris. And she still looks pristine. And you could swear she's staring at you. And there's a pleading in her eyes. After a few moments, you recover enough to be able to decide what to do. So what do you do?
Do I remember that I ignored the letter?
You do. The only thing that you lost was that specific memory. You have all of the rest of your memory. It took from you that one memory with V that you will never have back again. But everything else you still have.
I'm going to take this as a sign. I should probably read the letter. I'm going to be shaken up as I'm doing this, really kind of moving carefully, not saying anything to my people in the room.
V V's hand was very shaky when writing this letter. You know that V doesn't shake a lot, right? Like of the circle, this is a brilliant circle with many talents, not the most physically inclined circle in Candela Obscura, right? In terms of, let's call it athletic prowess. With the notable exception, to some degree, Sterling, mostly though, really of V. V was always the first to throw her body in front of trouble for any of you, right? It takes a lot to get under V's skin. And I don't know that you've ever fully seen her physically worn down enough to reflect the shakiness you see in this letter. Just by the script that you see. It's very short. There is something in it. This will not result in any negative repercussions for you if you fail, other than not knowing what it can reveal. I will let you do a read, a focus, or a survey, depending on what you prefer. You just need to tell me why that's the one that you're choosing within the sense of what's going on. And then you can roll that.
Okay, it's going to be a survey because I I know the shakiness is unusual, so I'm looking for clues. Just I'm trying to solve this. This is a mystery. I'm trying to solve it.
Beautiful.
And I'm also trying to figure out how to shake off of this residual feeling that I have from what happened.
Super fair. Go ahead and roll me a survey, please.
Crap. Okay, survey. Click, roll. Okay, so does my gilded dice count or no?
It does. So
'Cause it's a 6, and then I got a 3 and a
beautiful.
5.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're able to use that 6. The way that the Gilded Dice functions is you can choose to use it or to forego it, and that has an impact on potentially getting a drive back. But you haven't spent any drives yet. So, and you got a 6 on there. So with that 6, you notice a little bit of a code in what V wrote. Something that is an inside reference that only the two of you would know from your private conversations. It's a bit of a sense of I'm in trouble, right? What do you do with that?
So I'm assuming the code is something like, um, it's time to pull up your bootstraps to find a job.
Yeah,
Eh,
100%. Something that feels out of character in a way that you would have practiced and understood um, is exactly what you would do.
So I'm going to give Phil and whoever else I have in my home. I have some bracelets on. I'm going to give my bracelets to them, and I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to say anything. I just hand them jewelry and leave.
Okay,
I'm going to where our shop was.
beautiful. Cabris, where does the letter find you?
Ugh. I think I've got like a sort of bit of a beat up fixer upper sort of studio, but it's mine, so it's okay. And I think it's probably there. And I think V definitely wrote mine.
V is a very talented sculptor, not the world's most talented drawer, right? Um, in place of writing your name, sketched a heart on the outside, an anatomically correct heart on the outside, with little dripping blood. But the little dripping blood is other little hearts that are like the shape of a heart, like a the idea of a heart, not anatomically correct one. And you see they're kind of in a smiley face at the bottom.
All right. Let's see. Let's see what we've got.
All right, sense and focus, please.
All right, let's start a sense, shall we? Well, that's not good. Double twos.
Okay, let's see how focus goes.
Yeah. 5.
Okay, that is going to be 2 bleed and 1 brain. I'm going to let you choose because it's a mixed success. I assume, do you want to do focus first and then sense?
Ooh, that's dangerous. Nah, let's do sense first. Let's get the best.
Okay.
Start with the best shit.
Okay. All right. So with that full failure, you take 2 bleed, and you are transfixed. You open this letter, and you see what she wrote, and the words reconstitute in front of your eyes, and that's fine. What she wrote originally was a letter very similar in content to what the others received, with a bit more of an intimate tone, reflective of your relationship. A little teasy, definitely affectionate, clearly missing you, asking you to come. I will give you a chance if you want to roll, before I finish resolving this, if you want to roll a survey or a read or a focus to see if you catch anything hidden in what she wrote before it disappears.
I think I do. I think I want to try for a survey, like the second, like
Go
things
for
start
it.
to get fuzzy, that like sort of
Yeah.
kick in, that nosy I need to spot what's happening. God, okay. So that five.
Okay.
Was
With a 5.
not great at first.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
It's fine. It's
2
fine.
1s and a 5. The
Everything's
dice
fine.
are coming for Cadmus. That's terrible. It happens. All right. So that 5, got to keep it dramatic, right? That 5. It's a little hard because it's disappearing, right? But you do catch, as the words reconstitute, that she calls you the wrong pet name. She calls you Samira's pet name. And you know that's not a mistake she would make. And you know that she wouldn't do that to be cruel.
Oh, that is immediately disconcerting.
And following that path of disconcerting stuff, the letters reconstitute themselves in front of you, and the memory of the original message is light in your mind. You remember what I just told you. And you have the general sense of there's an invite to this party, and you got to go. What you see in front of you now is a confession that you have dreamed about in your quietest and saddest moments, of love towards you that you have never quite heard put that way. There's a piece of the love of V that you have yearned for and is sitting right in front of you in black and white right now. What does it say?
God, what does it say? It's probably honestly not even that long, because that's not really what Cabris cares about. But I think there's like just an element of like only having you so often and is not enough. There's part of the confession like leans into this more permanent desire and adoration that like they just have not really had, especially given that like there was either circle work in the way, or now, at least from Cadmus's end, like Samira in the way. Um, God. And maybe even like an implication of like the desire for the role in V's life that Cabris and Samira to have, just like change places.
I think more than an implication. I think she says, you've been right about everything. She says that she misses you desperately. She needs you. She needs you more than anyone right now. And she wants to have that with you for the rest of your lives. Please come tonight. Please come be with me.
Well, if that's not catnip, I don't know what is.
So the focus role. You are clearly able to get yourself together to go. As you think on this letter and all that you picked up from it, the vague remembrances of what it once was, and the seared into your brain new reality of what it is now, as you take one brain, I'm going to give you the choice because it was a mixed success. Do you think about the last time that you and V were alone, or do you think about the first time that you knew that you loved her?
Ouch. Um uh I don't want to lose this one, but I think Cabris is a sentimental bitch. I think I think that that first time is always, the realization is always gonna come back. Well, would I assume.
So let's sit in it for a second. What was it like, that first realization of love?
I think it was like a totally surprisingly normal day or moment. I think it was one of like the few times that a lot of them actually just had an afternoon to like use the third space as a third space. And in the midst of folks, you know, drinking or sipping tea and making art, doodling with things. I think Vox like just brought Cabris's like favorite tea. No questions asked. Had dropped it off with them, just the right temperature, just the right amount of time steeped. Gave a smile and like a squeeze of the shoulder, and then just sat down next to him.
In the quiet of that comfortable intimacy that brought such safety into what is often a place of such unsafe talk and acts, reflections, and restoration from the dangers that you face. You felt loved, and you felt an openness, an opportunity to love in return. Had you felt a love like that before?
Absolutely not.
This force, far from you, yet in your mind, feasts on one of the most important memories of your life. What part of it is the last part to go?
V's smile.
You hold that in your mind, and it's gone. And you feel an emptiness, and then you don't even feel that because you don't know what you just lost. You all are able to prepare to go into what you all have reason to understand is going to be a complicated situation. In our chat, not the one here on the Video Ninja, but in our Discord, I just dropped a set of items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You don't have to choose from them now. For those at home watching, Kindle Obscura allows for gear to be selected as it becomes necessary. So alongside the gear that you already have on your sheets, any of you are able to take any of these items. There's only one of each, so you can't have like multiples of the same. And you don't have to decide until you need it, now or in any future session. But these items are items that you would have been able to take with you upon your retirement, that due to your exemplary service and maybe maybe a little bit of extra work behind the scenes from your lightkeeper, you were able to take rather than have it stay as a resource for another circle to use. You would all have reason to suspect, although Sterling would never admit this, that it's possible that he worked this out so that you all would be able to stay safe if something happens when you don't have access to the Foros. So you don't have to pick one now. You can get it any time. But you each will have at least one of those items. And if I get a good enough hustle from y'all, maybe more than one. Though do remember that you typically do need to have a max of 3 pieces of gear at a time. I will let that reset in between sessions because of how we're doing this. Just like you are going to be able to use some of your circle features to try to clear brain and bleed and things like that. You can't clear scars, but as needed between sessions instead of at the end of an assignment as well. Anybody got any questions about that stuff or how that would work? Cool beans. Okay, that brings.
I do know what I'm. I do know what I'm I would have picked.
Go for it.
Be the Blood of the Thinning, if that's all right with everybody.
Works for me.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah, love that. Do you want to tell everyone?
Adi, hey, Adi, I don't fucking want that. That's gross.
We
take it.
don't need everything that will save our lives, but sometimes we need it. Okay.
So I'm gonna read it out. I will take as Lightkeeper, I will take the responsibility of reading it out. Blood of the Thinning tastes repulsive and squirms as it works its way through you once you've drank it. It can reverse the effects of some kinds of bleed. Anybody else want to claim anything? I'm happy to like y'all can take items as of now, and I'm happy to read them out to the audience, or we can surprise them later, or both, mix of both.
Well, see, the thing is,
I
I'm torn between
yeah.
two items.
Ooh.
Okay. What are the two? We could read them both out. We could chat about them.
Okay, they are the camera obscura,
Yes.
um, but also the grounding salts because I've already taken quite a bit of bleed. So,
So
well,
I'm
two.
actually comfortable with you taking both, and as you'll note, the grounding salts have 3 uses. So I'm even going to say you can give them to somebody else, right? Like you can carry them, but there's enough in there for 3 uses of that. So you can use it, you can give it to somebody else to use, you can use it again. Just it'll be gone after 3 uses. So here are the 2 items so that everybody knows. Camera obscura, a moving picture camera, red tinted and covered in sigils. It is heavy, brass, and allows its user to see and speak with spirits. Activating it causes 1 bleed. Looking through it at a spirit causes 1 bleed. So you're taking bleed to use it, but it can be helpful. Grounding salts. Take 1 body to soak 1 bleed. 3 uses. These bitter, large pills cause immediate physical pain when ingested. So actually, really good combination, right? Because you take the bleed from using the camera, convert that to body. None of that's fun, but maybe it helps. I don't know. Uh, what are y'all thinking?
I love a game that lets me pretend I planned ahead but not actually have to. So I'm good with making a decision in the
Beautiful.
moment. But I will ask people to remind me if I accidentally decide to use something that you would have already like established, like, no, I already called that because I don't want to like cut the line on somebody who's already decided, no, I do actually want to eventually use that tool.
I'll make a
Like
note.
mark it in the Discord or something so I don't forget.
Yeah. So I'm putting the name of the player on the item that they're claiming, um, so that we can have full clarity there on who has it. And I'm just going to edit and update this post as we go with that info, so everybody has it. There you go. Allegra, what do you think?
I'm torn between the art restores a loop, a monocle that functions as a magnifying glass that can see invisible things to the naked eye, and the negative space lantern that emits darkness instead of light. And
So
only the person holding
I'll
it
say
can see
I'll
the
also let you
darkness.
take both. It's just going to take an extra hustle for me to let y'all have more than 3 items. So just keep in mind with anybody taking like more than one of these, that's 2 of your 3 slots, right?
Yeah, no.
But all good. You're welcome to both of those. So I'm going to mark those down as being held by you, Allegra, and yeah, so that leaves the
Okay.
critical eye, the circle's promise, the sculptor's brace, and the metronome of sorrow.
I feel like I
As
kind of have to take the critical eye because that's beautiful. That just fits.
yeah, I think that's great. You're welcome to have it. Again, you all can pick from these. You can have all 3 of your items be from this list. You're just not going to be able to pull any of the rest of your gear unless or until you
Oh, true.
convince me otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Because that's rules is written, but we're also playing endgame tier 3, one last run, Candle Obscura here. So shoot your shot, like pitch your pitches.
Danny, I do have a question.
Yeah.
From our usual equipment, right, like our normal equipment, do we have only one of those?
You would have up to 3, but you have to like the same slots are used
Oh,
for
no,
this as that.
no. I'm sorry. I did not clarify my question.
For
So,
sure.
like, say a bleed containment vial, would I only have one of those?
Oh, yes. At a time, yes. There would be one bleed containment vial. I will say that anytime that we go through a refresh in what we're playing here, of even like a sort of a minor refresh, you can figure out a way to make another one work. But mechanically, I think that the ask is for you to use one at a time. Now, I will say, small container that can hold the remnants of magical phenomena is a variable description, and that's what's written there. So I will happily take good faith pitches on what a small container constitutes or can carry, right? It doesn't have to literally be just an actual vial. It can potentially contain
Mm-hmm.
more than that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think because yeah, my bleed containment while would have been a buffalo heart that is carved in sigils and specifically made for this purpose.
I love that. That's perfect. Consider it approved. That is fully good. Anybody else? Anything else? Anybody else wants to go over with regard to gear stuff before we move into the next phase?
I would like to consequently use that hustle to have been doing a ritual to take a bleed to remove my body mark and then put the bleed into the bleed containment vial.
You can do that. I will allow that to occur. But I need you to describe it. That's the only thing that you got to pay. So just tell me how it happened.
The ritual. So this would have been like it would have been at the conclusion of the ritual that the letter would have come, right? And so he would have been in a small little circle that he would have drawn in a mixture of chalk, uh, animal blood, and ash, and he would have burnt a couple of there are three vertices of like different plant material, and they all get burned and consumed as the mark that was kind of that was corrupted through him is removed, and in he is holding this desiccated buffalo heart that is carved in sigils, and as he holds it, and his at this point his glasses would be off, so you would actually see the cracks that are in his the skin around his eyes that are not actually going into his skin. They are cracks, and the white light kind of builds up from the cracks, goes into the swirling white mass. There is no pupils. He just has swirling white hues that keep going around, and they glow. And the desiccated heart that was just seems like it was a dead thing suddenly starts beating, and the energy coursing from his body goes into the heart, and at that same moment he just
Well practiced, well executed, contained. And you carry the bleed with you now in that containment. And if you take it with you, it'll be there when you get to the party.
it's with me.
Who arrives first?
I would argue Lucille because she was like, all right, let's go immediately.
Okay. Does Lucille go right in? Or does Lucille stay outside and observe? Does Lucille wait to see if any of the others are coming? There was nothing in the letters, by the way, that indicated that the others got invited. But it's also fair for any of you who think your characters might assume this to assume that the others may have been invited. There was just no overt indication of it.
I think unless she picks up on some vibe or like something similar to what she picked up from the letter, she's just going to I think she's going to immediately enter and look for Sterling.
Beautiful. I'm gonna need to pause there because I'm gonna need to resolve everybody's arrivals at once. Who arrives next?
I think Tariq would have been because he was running, and he was somewhere in the Red Lamp district, so it's a bit of a run, but he's made it.
Okay, does he go directly inside? Does he observe from the outside? Does he wait for anyone?
I think Tariq would have waited because he is extremely disconcerted by whatever just happened. So, and he knows that, yeah, I mean, you cannot be blind about some things. You have to observe. So I think he is he is observing who else is going in, and he, like, he'll kind of sit himself kind of close nearby the entrance, and he is going to be kind of gently twanging his kora, and off the top of it, like, so there, this is again a little hustle. The koras, the stem of the kora is it seems to be almost like, separate from the rest of it, because it almost seems like it has a hilt, and off the hilt, and so my ghost blade will be a hidden dagger that, like,
Love it. Perfect. Hustle.
a hidden dagger that comes pulling out of it, right?
I always love a good prop, and I mean, to add to the hustle, you already had me on the hustle. That's beautiful. Yeah, no, you're fully set. That works. What I want to
But
ask though is, Chanel, what would Tariq associate with Lucille in terms of scent? Like, is there anything she tends to wear, tends to carry, tends to eat?
I
Yes.
I want to.
Huh?
I have a
Oh.
pitch, but go on.
Oh,
What
I
about
think. Well,
you?
I want to hear. I'll say what I'm going to say first, and I'll hear the pitch, and it'll be like the game when you yell a word, and we'll see if we yell the same word.
Yeah.
I think in the past it would have been something closer to a perfume. Now would be something more practical, like I don't know if I can remember exactly what it's called, but it's like, those big circular like tubs of powder that you that you put on after you shower, that's like deodorant but not deodorant. I forget what those are called entirely. Is it just called bath powder or shower powder or something? Probably toilet powder. I don't know. But that like baby powder clean scent of she takes great care in her hygiene, but her lean into the extravagant and the floral and like the beautiful has faded, not to absence. I think there's still, like, especially Tariq in particular would smell the residue because she's been using the same puff. So there's still a little bit of like some sort of body oil or perfume on the puff because sometimes she used to spray it in the powder or layer like perfumed like sheets of paper in the powder. But now it's just overpowered with just a very hygienic, clean, almost blank scent. Now I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Yeah, Tariq.
Given that you are my muse, I think he senses those things, but underneath all of that, there is the scent of that very special ink that you use for your writing. That is what he gets.
The answer is both of them.
Yeah, both.
That's it.
Tariq, the clean scent hits you first, right? The clean scent hits you first, But what hits you after that is that ink undeniably connect.
Sorry, undeniably, what that's after that I missed because I don't. My internet's glitched.
No worries. Undeniably connected to Lucille. As you're posting up, the door is closed. She made it in before you got there, but just before. You know she's in there already. You have not seen the others yet. Do you wait?
I know Miguel. She be able to handle herself. So I will wait. And what I'm also going to do, as I'm going to shakily kind of start playing the kora, is I am looking at a little thing that is hanging off the top of the hilt, of the pommel of the hilt. And it is my bleed detector, which is essentially a small kind of like, it's like a, well, I'm going to make an approximation, but it is a small, what appears to be a small baby raven skull that is tied to an adult feather, and that is just hanging off the kora as he's playing. But whenever it detects bleed, the little baby raven's empty eye sockets will glow, and the tail, the feather, kind of lifts and kind of floats in the direction. So I am using my bleed detector to see if if this new gallery or any of the new guests have bleed on them.
I love that. Before I resolve that, who arrives next?
I think there's a similar level of like urgency from Cavris about it.
Okay. So when you arrive, you see Tariq outside, posted up, and with his bleed detector out. What do you do?
It's gonna be that awkward conversation. Let's
Oh
go.
boy. There's an element of like why in the world is that out? But also I kind of get why it's out. And I don't necessarily want to talk, but I do think I want to know. Probably have a terrible habit of appearing behind people, so I think Cameras just kind of shows up behind. Probably throws the thing out of whack for a second.
Yeah. Okay. You all are welcome to have that conversation, by the way, before I move spotlight, if you want.
I think once that quiver in the feather happens, I think he'll stop playing, and he'll just he won't look back, but he'll just kind of, he will sense it. Wagwan, brethren, wagwan.
What exactly are you doing here?
What can we say? Old Tariq got invitation to this fancy shindig. Me not sure. But me think bad things happen in there, bad juju. It's not. Why are you here? You get letter as well.
Yeah. B reached out.
Lucille already be in there. I sent her. I think, me think the circle convene again. But I don't know if it is dream this time or nightmare.
Let's be real with ourselves. It's never a good thing when we're all in one place, is it? Or at least it hasn't been for a long time.
Cabrice, there be some bad things happening in that building. And I think people that we care about are not in a good place.
What makes you say that?
Because when I got this letter and he pulls it out from his, and I mean he's wearing a coat over the shiki, and so he'll pull out the letter. This thing, it reek of a stank of hunger, deep and abiding, and I know not what it took, but me know me missing something, and this not put me in a good place.
I think Cabrice is kind of like stun-looked about it because like doesn't remember losing anything, but also feels off.
Do I sense bleed on you, by the way? You have bleed on you, right?
Probably. I've got
yeah.
3 bleed marks right now.
100%. 100% you do. Yeah.
Not looking great.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. You have 3 bleed right now?
Yeah. Oh, is it not when hit the 4? Is it during the 3?
You gotta take a sky.
Oh no, that's not good. Okay.
Holy shit! What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not doing great. It was a time.
Okay.
That memory took something out of me.
Yeah, but you know what? Take it in front of Tariq. Take the scar in front of Tariq and tell us what
the
that's like.
The after, the like delayed reaction.
Yeah, legitimately. Let's play it as a
thing. You took something from me, and me suddenly being like, "Wait, what?" And then.
Oh wait, hell no! Hold on. Is there anything I can fucking do?
I mean, it kind of already happened. Yeah.
It's just kind of a delayed reaction. Yeah. Wait, okay, so
can I, as I see it happening, can I just reach out to her?
I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It's on the 4th mark that you're fine. You're on the edge. You're on the edge of the 4th mark. But I will say you do see, but I was sure I was wrong. You do see that your bleed detector is going nuts. And with your experience, you are well aware that your friend here is in quite a bit of danger. The amount of bleed that he's carrying on his person.
Ratted. What the rascal? What are you doing? And he just like, he will immediately like take us into the nearest alley that we have.
Whoa.
And I'm just going to be, I'll pull out the buffalo heart, and I will put a hand on Cabrice's shoulder, and I'm just going to try and soak as much bleed as I can from her into this vial.
I'm going to make you an offer. You can take 1 bleed off of her and put it into the buffalo heart. Or you can take 2 bleed off of her and put 1 of them into yourself.
Done.
That you cannot then put into the buffalo heart.
Done.
Tell us how that happens.
Um, yeah, I think as like uh, the procedure starts happening, the shadows around them kind of warp a little bit, and then they just start simmering and smoking upwards, and that bleed is absorbed from Cabrice into the shadow, and that kind of starts simmering upwards. Some fumes going into the heart, and some fumes going straight up into his nose. And
Oi, you didn't have to do that. Hey,
I shut your trap. You
Eh,
were you are on the edge. You are on the edge, Kabi.
don't call me that in a minute.
Well,
It's just a
that
gallery or something. It's probably not just a gallery.
girl, when you got this letter, well, I may not think that you were suffused with bleed for month long. This happened today. There is something going on in there, and it makes me soul quiver.
Your with this ritual having been completed, your bleed detector has its eyes glowing bright, hot white, uh, and its tail is pointing at the door to the house of Theseus. We're going to hold there a second and go to Ollie, the last missing member of the circle. Uh, what happens when Ollie arrives last?
Well, Ollie, as you know, kind of had a moment when she fell and lost the memory. She left her home. Like she was at home, comfy doing art. She left home and she's walked there. But when she left home, she didn't really grab much of anything. She just had the camera around her neck and maybe a bag. So by the time she gets to the general area of the shop, she is basically in a long white nightgown because that's what she was wearing.
Mhm.
She's got her hair. It's a messy braid now. It's really super messy. The hem of the nightgown is dirty. She's looks like she's been through it, and she just walks straight forward. I'm assuming the three of you are standing outside.
Well, so Lucille's inside,
Okay.
and then Cabrice and Tariq are in an alley around the corner, just like triaging bleed, essentially,
Okay.
right? With arcane rituals is what's happening
So
right now.
I would
Yeah,
say Ollie passes by the alley or by where they're taking
yeah,
care of the bleed,
100%, absolutely, yeah.
and you just see her just kind of eyes are kind of I'm gonna say blank, but there's not really looking at anything,
Mhm.
and she just passes by you, almost like not a ghost, but like a spirit almost, and she's going to go straight into the shop and pass by everybody who she can to well, we don't know where she's gonna go yet. We'll find out later.
So she enters the door. Two of you are now in. The other two are in the alleyway. And I will say you would have easily been able to see her pass by with that description. Do you
That
follow?
was
That no more time. Clearly, we go in.
well shit. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go to a party.
When all of you, the last of you, enter the door, you hear it close behind you, and all of the sounds of new fare fall away. You are in what is now the new form of the House of Theseus, and you are alone. It is just you in an empty room. And that is where we're going to pick it up next time. 1 week from today, everybody. It's going to be so exciting. Thank you all for joining us here. I want to give a really, really lovely, wonderful shout out to all of the folks who are running this event, including our very own Janie here. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing to make this possible. Egg Chan, our producer on this session, thank you so much for everything
Shout
you're
out.
doing. I know you exist in the back chats, and I'm sorry if it's embarrassing, but you deserve love. Thank you for making this work.
Everybody point at Egg Chan in the chat. Everybody observe Egg Chan right now.
Yeah,
Everybody
Do it. So much love. Mark, thank you. Whole team, thank you. It's a real honor to be able to be a part of this event, to be able to tell this story with this beautiful table of incredible performers. Thank you for making that possible. Thank you to everybody at home for watching, for getting in the Tiltify and donating to the Lavender Rights Project, because that is in large part why we're here, and is a wonderful organization that deserves our support. Thank you again to Transplanter RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crime Games for sponsoring this year's event, which I will remind you is Apochromatic Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, right? There's going to be an amazing show right after this. There's amazing shows the next couple of days. Then we pick it up again at the end of next week. It's happening all month, folks. So join us again, same time, 4 p.m. Eastern, or on VOD afterwards, if that's how you're catching this. Even if you're watching it after, still go into the Tiltify, still give the money. It's not too late. Help out. I'm Danny R. Mendoza. I can be found in all the social places under Danny R. Mendoza. I'm doing a bunch of stuff over at Streaming Rainbow, where I am now just very recently like an official member of the collective, and in a bunch of other places, including with all of the wonderful, lovely folks who are here, who I really want to do more stuff with, including Adi's super secret thing that he's going to talk about when he wants to. All right, I am going to popcorn it over to Allegro, actually.
Oh, hello. Hi, that's me. I'm Allegro, also occasionally a Silly Siren VTuber. You can find me at Alluring Allegro all over the interwebs. And usually it's either actual play or video games for me, so happy to be here. Popcorning over to Chanelise.
Hi, my name is Chanel Lees. You can find me pretty much anywhere online at Chanel Lees with a hyphen, because some website, blah, blah, blah. You heard the whole spiel from the beginning about hyphens and bullshit. But I'm otherwise, other than being an actual play creator, performer, I'm also the community manager of Anansi's Web, which you can find at Anansi's Web on Blue Sky. And if you go to any of my social media accounts and see a Linktree link there, then you could breadcrumb yourself to the Discord server for Anansi's Web, the Black Actual Play Creator Network. If you are a Black person who wants to be an actual play creator or already are one, please come connect with us. I want all safe, because community is not just about including everybody, but including people that respect each other. Anglophone, English-speaking Black actual play creators to at least have a point of contact with everybody else, so that it's easier for us to find each other and make stuff together and all that jazz, and also transfer skills to each other. So in the spirit of collective art making, come join us. I'm gonna popcorn it to Adi.
Hello, people of the internet. RDMK, Fab Hikim, blah, blah, blah. But you can find me at RDMK on both Blue Sky and YouTube. But what I'm forced to tell you now is the super secret project. Sometime in March, Many Faced Plays, which is my AP group that I assembled, and I don't know how it exploded. But We are going to be starting a Vampire the Masquerade game, which is going to be Baghdad by night. And we are going to be taking a look into other cultures and other spaces where the night goes deep.
Love that.
And I will pop on it with Jenny.
Hi, I'm Janie. I helped put this event on. I am AP lead at APOC. I play in games. I run games. I have a problem where I just love to just do anything game related. I'm on this event again, not just the next episode of this, but I'm also playing and running something. And I'm playing in a few other things. I'll try to post them on my Blue Sky. And I am also in a lot of servers, so you'll probably see me around everywhere else too.
Love that. All right. Well, thank you all again. Stick around for the next show. You will not be disappointed. Beautiful cast. Amazing, amazing work. Thank you again for joining us. Get in the Tiltify. And for this show and New Fair, we will explore this gallery, see what's going on in the House of Theseus when we see you next week. See you later, y'all.